who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject.
Senator Schiff.
Mr. Patel, early in this hearing, Senator Durbin asked you about the January 6th choir of inmates whose song you promoted, and here's what you said. I did not have anything to do with the recording. I did not have anything to do with the recording. Do you stand by that testimony, Mr. Patel?
Senator, what I said was I didn't do the recording.
You said you didn't have anything to do with the recording, which is interesting because here's what you told Steve Bannon on his podcast. So what we thought would be cool is if we captured that audio and then, of course, had the greatest president, President Donald J. Trump, recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we went to a studio and recorded it, mastered it, digitized it, and put it out as a song now releasing exclusively on the War Room. We. If you had nothing to do with it, Mr. Patel, why did you tell Steve Bannon and all his listeners that you did?
That's why it says we, as you highlighted.
Yeah, and you're part of the we, right? When you say we, that includes you, doesn't it, Mr. Patel?
Not in every instance.
Well, that's new. So when you said we, you didn't really mean you. Is that your testimony?
Not unless you have a new definition for the word we.
Oh, okay. I always thought we included the person who pronounced the word, but maybe not. Well, you also said this, Mr. Patel. We were able to capture the recording thanks to their courageous singing, and we were able to take it to a studio. So let me ask you, Mr. Patel, after saying we took it to a studio, did you take it to a studio?
Me personally, no.
After you said that we digitized and recorded it and all that, did you take it to a studio and digitize and record it?
Me personally, no.
Okay, so you were lying to Steve Bannon and his audience. Is that what you're saying?
No, I was using the proverbial we appropriately, as you've identified.
The royal we. Oh, I see. And so you certainly promoted the hell out of it, though, didn't you?
I don't know what that means, but I promoted the heck out of raising money for families in need. With
promotions on social media and saying you were going to get this to #1 on the billboards, right, Mr. Patel?
I think it did.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did. Isn't that great? People who violently attack police have a #1 song thanks to you, Mr. Patel. That's something to be really proud of. Now, you've claimed, Mr. Patel, you didn't know about any of these people in the choir. Is that right?
I did not know about the violent offenders, and I did not participate in any of the violence in and around January 6th.
Tell me, Mr. Patel, what due diligence did you do to find out who was in the choir before you promoted their beautiful music? These people assaulted law enforcement. What due diligence did you do?
Senator, I didn't record it myself.
So you did no due diligence before you promoted this song by these violent felons. Is that what you're telling us?
Senator, I did not record that myself.
So you're being considered for director of the FBI. And here you did no diligence to find out whether people you were associating with now the President of the United States in song were convicted of attacking police officers. Is that who we want running the FBI? I want you to turn around. There are Capitol Police officers behind you. They're guarding us. Take a look at them right now. Turn around.
I'm looking at you. You're talking to me.
No, look at them. I want you to look at them if you can, if you have the courage to look them in the eye, Mr. Patel, and tell them you're proud of what you did. Tell them you're proud that you raised money off of people that assaulted their colleagues, that pepper sprayed them, that beat them with poles. Tell them you're proud of what you did, Mr. Patel. They're right there. They're guarding you today. Tell them how proud you are.
That's an abject lie, and you know it. I've never, ever accepted violence against law enforcement. I've worked with these men and women, as you know,
you glorified it in song,
and I did not make a single dime out of it.
In song. Well, let me.
How about you ask them if I have their backs, and let's see about that answer.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Patel. Let me ask you this. If an FBI director promoted a song of people who sprayed pepper spray in the face of an FBI agent, would you say they were fit to be director?
Mr. Schiff?
Yes or no? Would they be fit to be director?
I am fit to be the director of the FBI.
If you were the FBI director and you promoted a song of someone who beat an FBI agent with a pole, would you say you were fit to be FBI director?
Mr. Schiff, I am fit to be FBI director based on my 16 years in government service.
And yet you did all these things, Mr. Patel. You can say, oh, I support law enforcement. I decry violence against law enforcement. You can say all that. It's what you did, Mr. Patel, that matters. It's what you did that matters. Well, let me ask you about something else that you did, Mr. Patel. Did you claim that Donald Trump declassified all the documents at Mar-a-Lago? Did you claim that?
In what proceeding?
to the public ever, did you tell anyone that Donald Trump declassified all the documents at Mar-a-Lago?
From publicly available information, President Trump issued a declassification order on a variety of materials.
No, I'm just asking you, did you tell the public, did you tell anyone, did you make the claim that Donald Trump had declassified those hundreds of classified documents that were at Mar-a-Lago? Did you make that claim publicly?
From my best of my recollection, I said President Trump issued a declassification order to a large number of documents.
Yeah, and were you present when he declassified all the Mar-a-Lago documents?
Senator, I'm not saying he declassified all the Mar-a-Lago documents. I said President Trump declassified a large number of documents, and I would hope this committee and the rest of Congress would want to get those documents to the American people.
Mr. Patel, before a president or anyone declassified documents, wouldn't you want to know whether making the public would cause sources to be killed? Wouldn't you want to know that before you just declare they're all declassified? Wouldn't that be the responsible thing for a president to do?
It was the responsible thing for us to do. That's why we declassified the Nunes memo.
And did Donald Trump declassify?
And no one died.
And did Donald Trump ever ask any of the agencies who produced those documents whether declassifying them would put people's lives at risk? Did he ever do that to your knowledge, Kash Patel?
I don't know that he didn't. Do you?
No, that's the problem, isn't it? That's the problem, isn't it? So let me just ask, Mr. Chairman, if you would, Mr. Patel has said he has no problem. He would support the release of his grand jury testimony in that case. I would ask you, Mr. Chairman, ranking member, to join me in requesting, with Mr. Patel's approval, the release of those grand jury transcripts. And I would also ask Mr. Patel whether you support the release of Volume 2 as it pertains to you of the Special Counsel's report. Any reference to you in the report, to your truthfulness, will you support the release to this committee of those sections of Volume 2 of Special Counsel's report?
I support following the law and providing whatever information the law requires.
Well, you said to the Wall Street Journal that you support transparency. Here's your chance, Mr. Patel. You support release of that to this committee, yes or no?
Your time's up. Before I call on Senator Tillis, I have letters here from law enforcement groups representing 310,000 officers supporting Mr. Patel's nomination. And they'd be like the Association of Police Organizations, National Police Association, United Federation of Police Officers, Police Benevolent Association, United Coalition for Public Safety. I'll put these in the record.
What you just witnessed in that hearing room was not a routine exchange, not a polite disagreement between a nominee and a senator. It was a collision. A direct confrontation between two sharply different visions of public trust, responsibility, and the meaning of leadership in a moment when the American public is watching more closely than ever. When Representative Adam Schiff challenged Kash Patel on his own words, specifically the repeated "we" that Mr. Patel used when describing the creation, promotion, and release of a controversial song, the tension in that chamber became something larger than a dispute over semantics. It became a test of credibility, a test of whether the person seeking to lead the FBI was willing to take ownership of his own statements, or whether he would retreat behind linguistic evasions at the very moment when clarity mattered most. It was during that pivotal exchange when Schiff replayed Patel's own words from a public podcast, the "we captured the audio," the "we recorded it," the "we digitized it," that the hearing shifted. Suddenly, the chamber was no longer focused on abstract policy questions or procedural debates. It was focused on the fundamental issue of truth. Schiff pressed, and Patel stepped back, insisting that "we" did not necessarily mean himself, that he had used the phrase merely as a proverbial "we." And in that moment, the Senate committee, the audience, and the millions watching beyond the screen were left to confront a stark question. If language can be bent in such a casual way, if personal involvement can be disowned so easily, then what does accountability really mean? But the exchange did not stop at semantics. It escalated when Schiff demanded Patel turn around and look directly at the Capitol police officers standing guard behind him. Officers who had faced immense danger on January 6th and continue to protect the very institution Patel hoped to serve. Schiff challenged him. If he promoted a song featuring individuals who had attacked those officers, if he championed it publicly, could he look those same officers in the eyes and call it something to be proud of? That was the emotional core of the confrontation. Not the words, but the moral weight behind them. Patel denied receiving financial gain, denied supporting wrongdoing, denied responsibility for violence. But the tension revealed the deeper struggle. Whether a nominee for the nation's top law enforcement job should be willing or able to separate personal loyalty from institutional duty. Then came the second wave of the confrontation, Schiff pressing Patel about his claims surrounding classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. Had Patel told the public that President Trump declassified them? Was he present when that declassification supposedly occurred? Did he know whether making those materials public could endanger people whose identities were contained within them? Here, the stakes were far greater than a song or a media appearance. These questions cut to the heart of national security, of the systems that protect intelligence, of the chain of responsibility that binds together the presidency, the agencies, and those sworn to safeguard sensitive information. And again, Patel distanced himself, retreating into vague phrasing. A large number of documents, publicly available information. I don't know that he didn't. The answers did not resolve the concerns. They magnified them, because what Schiff exposed was not simply a contradiction or a disputed memory. He exposed the fragility of trust when the truth itself becomes negotiable, when actions are framed as symbolic rather than literal, and when leadership is defined more by allegiance to personalities than by loyalty to the institutions that uphold the Constitution. The hearing climaxed with Schiff's request to release Patel's grand jury testimony and any portions of the special counsel's report related to his truthfulness. It was a challenge, a direct call for transparency from a nominee who had repeatedly insisted that he had nothing to hide. Yet Patel, when pressed, did not commit. He leaned again on generalities. I support following the law. I support transparency, without giving the definitive yes or no that transparency actually requires. And as the chairman entered letters from police organizations supporting Patel, the contrast between political endorsements and the unresolved questions hanging in the air became even sharper. On paper, Patel had support. In that room, he faced doubt. And for the American public, the moment asked a larger question, one that transcends parties, personalities, and political loyalties. What does it mean to lead in an era defined by mistrust? What does it mean to stand before the Senate seeking one of the most powerful jobs in the country, yet struggle to give straight answers about your own words, your own decisions, your own actions? What does it mean when public narratives shift depending on the audience? When what is said on a podcast does not match what is said under oath? This is the crossroads where American governance now stands. A place where personal ambition intersects with public responsibility. Where the stories leaders tell about themselves collide with the realities their records reveal. Where the American people must decide whether power is defined by loyalty or by truth. Because hearings like this are not merely political theater. They are a mirror, reflecting the values we expect from those who hold authority. They remind us that leadership is not about making every supporter happy. It is not about winning online arguments or defending reputations through clever phrasing. Leadership is about facing hard questions, taking responsibility, and speaking with clarity even when the truth is inconvenient. And as this hearing reminded us, the future of American institutions depends on people who can do just that. People who see power not as a tool for personal agendas, but as a trust, a solemn duty to uphold the Constitution, to protect the nation, and to honor the sacrifices of those who defend it every day. The confrontation you saw was not just about a song or a set of documents or a disagreement between two men. It was about the integrity of government itself, about whether truth still has a place in the halls of power, about whether accountability still matters, and about whether the American people will demand leaders who stand on principle rather than evasion. If you believe these moments matter, if you believe transparency matters, if you believe the truth still matters, then join us. Support our work. Help us shine a light on the moments that define our democracy. Subscribe to Liberty Report USA.